Nilikuwa na swali. Sisi watu wa Gen Zs and the millennials. So you see,
umesema hiyo Gen Z na confidence hii
unajua niko in the border.
Sisi kama
I like to think I'm in the border.
Yeah.
And of course, because I interact with them a lot.
Yes.
I feel like right now saving is a bit scary for them, because it's not easy to get jobs and whatnot. Sometimes, like for us entertainers, we get jobs as per the season. Sometimes there's a lot of work that comes in, so you feel like let me just invest in this and try and double it up. I don't think about saving. How is it that how you guys approaching that in terms of saving?
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, DJ. I think that's a very important conversation, and I agree with you. Times are different from maybe the times that our parents are also Gen Z.
Yeah, internally. Yeah.
Brian, you and I are the only millennials.
But I believe that, in all honesty, you're living in the best times possible. First of all, in a very positive way. Why do I say so? You're living at a time when there is a lot of information, access to stuff is like free. Wherever you are, you're able to access whatever information you need. So you can be able to structure your life, your income generating activities, whether employment or your business, whatever it is, in a very easy way, and you're able to get the information you need and whatever support you need. Now, coming to the question about you don't have a job today, tomorrow you have a job, that kind of state where you're not very, very sure about what's happening. There are things that remain constant in life. We may not have those permanent and pensionable jobs that used to have then. They may not be as many as they are today, but your financial obligations remain. Okay? You still have to go through school, get into the job market, whatever job market means for you, and then get to retire if God gives you time. Okay? So that does not change. So what changes is the in-between. How do you manage in-between? And like I said earlier, or let me put it this way, saving for retirement is actually more of a culture than it is a factor of your income or the consistency or how your income comes through. It's more of the culture that you have set. You have a goal that I may have a job today, tomorrow I don't have a job. But if I may ask you a question, if I put a question out there, in between the jobs, what happens? Rent still has to be paid, right? Food must be on the table. Sherehe lazima. How do we do these things? We simply plan because I have a job today, tomorrow and the day after I may not have a job, next week I'll have a job. So you plan yourself that way. So when you have this saving culture and the saving discipline, talked about discipline at the beginning, that I have already set a goal that in the next 20, 30 years when I'm hitting 50, 60, I need to retire comfortably and I need to have accumulated this, kind of amount of money. So when you get your job today, you get paid for your job and you've set a target. I always recommend not anything below 10% of the income you get, whether it is a regular income or an inconsistent income. So today you get your kapul, because you did this thing and you get a good amount. Set aside that 10%, 15%, 20%, depending on what it is, and let it be that is for the next 30 years when I want to thank this me of today. Okay, so set aside that. So live on the balance of the 90. The next time you get your next job, do the same. So you and the person who has a consistent monthly paying job, you still are on the same page. The only difference is how are you planning yourself? Because if you still have to pay rent even when you didn't have a job, it means what you got yesterday must spread out to cover this other time.
Yeah, that's you're making it as clear as day. But at Britam, there are allocations for that, because sometimes when I have a gig and maybe your policy is not accompanied to rainy days and sunny days, then it becomes a problem for me who's like in the space where it's mostly gigs to actually trust. So how best do I go about that?
How do best do go about that? With a change of times, of course, even as we have had to change the kind of products that we offer. Within the pension space, the savings for pensions plans, we have a plan that is very, very flexible. That you put in money when you have it and how much you have without affecting your savings plan. So today you can be able to put in 10K. you put in 10K. Tomorrow there is nothing. Good. Maybe you are lucky, you have done a job today, next week you have another job. So put in a 10K today, next week the job is even better, put in 20K. So what goes into your pot is what you put in. Remember, what you put in is what is going to be invested and earn you the interest that you talked about as what you shall be able to get at the end of the day. So that flexibility is there. Do you want to put money every month? Do you want to put money every week? Do you want even to daily, depending on maybe you could be having a hustle out there that gives you some income on a daily basis? You can actually do that. The platforms to do the payments are also free flexible. On your phone, you're able to do your payments. So you get a payment like this because you have a commitment, swap.
So,
Because
It goes.
So for example,
it will
of
go
course,
elsewhere.
of
Yeah.
course.
so for example, if I take like 2 months without depositing and maybe now I get the money,
Yes.
I can still do that.
You can still do
deposit.
that. Actually,
Okay.
with the savings for retirement specifically, it doesn't have to be a consistent payment on a regular basis. It is recommended if possible. But even if you skip your month or 2 months, or even 6 months, whatever period of time, whatever you had put in there remains and continues to generate you interest. So you're not losing anything. The only thing you're losing is maybe the time that you've not put in, understandably again, because that's time again you don't have this income. So you put the money when you have it and how much you have.
Love
So
that.
the whole thing here I'm talking about is the discipline and the culture that you have set in place.
Ukipata pesa,
Weka.
you meet your obligations kwanza.
Yeah.
I love that.